Hi, everybody. So I have a little time and I wanted to address some of the questions that have come in to askhoneycgolden at Gmail. And I may or may not get that in the description. Hopefully I do. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on. And the energy is shifting massively right now. I know we had another big solar event. And remember, the solar comes from the souls. So all that energy is generated not only by souls that are not incarnated, but also by our souls. So I want to talk about some of the things that are going on. One of the fun things that somebody sent me is this picture. And I got that it came from the energy of a sprite. So obviously like an elemental being. And they were stirring the air. So they were just having fun. But it's really cool. It looks kind of like a feather. And I want to talk about some of the other things. Like recently, I've seen a cloud that I could tell completely, and I shared it on Telegram, that it was a ship. I'm seeing constant things like that. Aaron will be calling in the ships, so we'll probably be seeing them on Thursday. I'm excited for that. They're excited. I can hear the ETs now. They're really excited. Anya just sent me a photo that definitely has something in the cloud. So there's so much going on right now. And obviously, the big collapse is also happening. So we're just going to kind of get into some of these questions, and I'll probably dabble with other information as we go. Okay, so this first question is from Pamela, and she's worried about her dog, and his name is Cooper. So I'm getting he's limping, and I'm getting he's got a pinched nerve, which the vet can't really see. So, and I'm not a doctor or a veterinarian. So, do your own research, but I would see if you can get him a doggy chiropractor, which does exist, or take him to a doggy masseuse. I don't know if those exist, but um, it basically needs to be released. There's like it's catching. Something is catching on something else. So he's slightly out. Like his spine is just misaligned, is what it feels like to me. Okay, so the next question is from Wendy, and she's asking about humanitarian projects. So I think we're all going to be doing them in one way or another, and your project may just being to meditate and emote your beautiful energy, but a lot of us will be doing that, doing these humanitarian projects with funding, and I believe that funding's already there. So if you think about how your phone and all the things that you use that are electronic have been tapped forever, then people know what you have. And I think through that information and ET assistance, accounts have already been established. So many people will be notified. And that's what I keep getting, that they will be notified. And once they're notified, they will probably have to go to the Social Security office. That's what keeps coming in. So that will be to do with the Zim. As far as the other things, I feel like you're just going to go to the bank and do an exchange. And then there's also the birth money that has to do with a straw and a man. And that will just come through the Social Security office as well, I think. But I don't know exactly how that's going to look. I think if you're a different age, it may look a little different. Like there may be like a balloon of money that comes from that first, the birth money. And that then you would also have a monthly income. Now, if you're really young, I think you might have a monthly income and the balloon would come later. and you would probably, let's see, you'd still be able to get cars and houses and stuff through that. And that's where the wealth management would come in, because a lot of banks are now wealth managers, and they've been doing that a long time. That's where your home loan comes from and all of that. But basically, you're not going to be loaning yourself money anymore. You're just going to be directly paying someone for something. And I feel like that's what they're going to help with. And that's how banks will stay relevant at all in the future. And then eventually we won't use money. Money will just not be a thing. But I think we will have some means of exchange for quite a while when it comes to people like, maybe they're throwing a party for you, maybe it's a wedding, like they're creating something for you. As far as like, I don't know, dinner or a restaurant type thing, I feel like there still will be a means of exchange. Yeah. So that'll still be happening. Okay, so this is from Bertha. This is fun. About 9 years ago, I was driving to work and I heard someone say the word flabbergasted to me. I looked in the rearview mirror thinking that someone was hiding in the back of the car. I didn't have the radio on. I immediately thought it had been from another dimension. And can you tell me who it was? So it was yourself in another dimension or a parallel life. And I feel like you were really um surprised, I guess. Surprised and amazed, which is what I would call flabbergasted, but you were very shocked and it came through because you were doing the same thing. I think you were both driving something at the same time. So it was able to like come through and it was such a strong feeling. So that's really fun. Okay, so the next one is from Lena, and she's asking about the show called Manifest, which we watched the whole thing, my husband and I. And it is basically like synonymous with Ascension. If you look at Ascension from the outside, and we are in the point where people have chosen which way they're going to go. And we're at the end of that plane ride, and we're about to see where we really are. Now, they went into 0 point and came out. And to me, it feels like it's just part of the human experience that's already happened to humanity. And it's happened over and over and over, but never have we gotten this far. And the universe has decided that we are going all the way. So no matter how long it takes, humanity is ascending because we are the last group to ascend, and we used to be ascended. And then we agreed to kind of be in this lower intense density and experience with a veil. And then there was lots of attacks and lots of craziness, which we had agreed to, but I don't think we agreed to let it go that far. But it kept going because there was so many distortions with the beings that were creating what was happening. Because that was a big old souls, there were several big old souls that had agreed to be more distorted or on the other side, and they just kept getting more distorted. So the whole process of learning through polarity is ending, and the souls that were so polarized that they would not heal, they would not agree to heal, they would not try to heal, they have gone back to God source as pure energy. So they are not here anymore. And all the other stuff is just hollow, that was going on. So there really isn't a whole lot left when it comes to the bad guys. So it's important to remember that, like, the source of everything is the consciousness, is the souls. And, they come from source. But all of these constructs that were created, the matrix comes from that. So I think that's a great show to watch. It is very, what I would call, what I call it, like, it's basically like showing you in a different way what's happening now. And we're going to start over and have something absolutely, amazing because we're ending the polarity. So anyway, I hope that answers that question. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys another sky picture. And you can see that there is what looks like two suns here. And I've been sharing a lot of stuff. They've been seeing a sun simulator and some of the pictures. There's been some really interesting things going on. And I think that we're starting to see what is really in the sky as a group, as, humanity in general. And it's pretty amazing. So I'm just really excited for all of us, really, because it's like we're coming out of this thick dream that we couldn't like escape from. And that's ascension. So that's really cool. Great picture. Thank you. And that was from Colleen. So thank you, Colleen. And the next one is from Karen. And she has a cough and a lot of hoarseness, and it doesn't seem to be alleviating. So, and remember, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not giving medical advice, but I'm getting there's something kind of caught up in the sinus cavity. Um, there's some emotional release that needs to happen. It has to do with a soul shadow. And I deal with that on Healing with Honey. I help you do those, deal with shadows, but also you can call in your soul and angel and guides, your angels and guides, and ask them to assist. This feels like a fairly big shadow. It has to do with the very back of your throat. So there was something that happened in a parallel life. And to me, what I'm getting is some kind of a chemical in a parallel life. So was ingested. I think you need to clear that, and that would be a soul shadow and not a very nice one. So once you clear that, then I would say to do some kind of, I don't know, you can do different things. You can do peroxide in a, I can't remember the name of it, this little steam thing. I can't remember. A nebulizer and to stop just to see. So you could do that. You can put hydrogen peroxide in a nebulizer. You can do oregano oil. You can do, what is that called? Golden seal. That's really good for the sinuses. Start looking some of that stuff up. And honestly, TikTok is probably one of the places to see, the weird little remedies that help people. But like I said, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not claiming to cure anything. Okay, so somebody is also asking about the dollar and collapse. And this is from Wouter, and they're just asking, like, what should they do? Should they purchase something? So I don't give financial advice. I will say what I did is I purchased silver. I purchased currencies and I did a few things, but to be honest, everybody has birth money. everybody. And that is going to be released. So if you have a birth certificate, you have birth money. And I feel like even people that don't have one, they'll figure it out so that they have something as well. So keep that in mind. And really, money's not going to be a big thing for very long. So you should have plenty while you're, waiting for money just to go away completely. Okay, so this question comes from Stina, and she's asking if I still do one-on-ones, which I don't anymore. It's just too much for me at this point with all the videos and the programs and managing all of my, website stuff and everything. So I have recommendations on my recommendation page for people that can help that are still doing individual readings. And they're not just doing readings, they're also helping with healing. Unless you're getting a tarot reading from Scott, and I think there might be somebody else on there that just does readings. But I would look at that. If you guys need individual help, then I would look at the recommendations page and see if you resonate with somebody, because it's great to get healing. Like it really is, it matters. And it's part of self-care and self-love. So I'm not doing it anymore, but it's definitely available. Okay, so I'm going to address another question that is coming from Joanne and asking about like what's going to happen when there is a shutdown. So we really don't have to worry very much about that. I do think that there will be an announcement, and I'm talking about my perception, my timeline, my parallel. But I don't ever get that there's anything very dramatic that's going to happen. I think the switchover will be very smooth. And I really get it's going to be about 3 days. So if you want to store up for a week or a couple of weeks, with some cash and food, then do so. Make sure the gas tank is full. But I feel like they're really not going to do anything that dramatic. There'll be some kind of announcement, and it'll basically be, the military taking over. So that's what I've seen for a long time. And I used to get 6 to 9 days, but lately I've just been getting, I used to get 3 to 9 days, and now I'm just getting 3. So it's really an easy thing that's going to be happening, in my opinion. But it depends on your parallel. It depends on your fear level, where, how hard it's going to be for you. So try and resolve anything that is making you feel weird about it, because we want to go into this change. And the less stressed you are about it, the better off we're all going to be. And that's because we create our own reality, and we are also a group creating reality. Okay, so this is really cool. So somebody sent me a picture of the grid, and I have seen this before. And as you get more and more aware, it will start to look kind of like a honeycomb pattern. But this is how I first saw it, and now the camera is catching it. So brilliant. This is really brilliant. And you can see it here, and look at that. That is the grid. I hope you guys can see that. It's amazing that that's coming through the camera. And this is the rest of it. So is the Aurora Borealis that she's taking a picture of, and that's from Heather. Such a brilliant picture. Thank you so much for sharing that. But when I saw it, it was all lit up with light, but there's no way a camera would have caught what I was seeing. So this is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that one. Yeah. We're just coming into such an amazing time. And it's like because we're believing and we're knowing that we're seeing things, the camera is picking up on it. Like I got some amazing things in the last trip to Florida that I had, and we were in this like beautiful park, and it's like the energy from the trees was lighting everything up. It was amazing. So definitely take a lot of pictures, you guys. Okay, so that's it for the questions for now. Go ahead and send me more if you guys want. I will not guarantee how fast they will get answered, but they will. They will get answered eventually. Not all of them necessarily, but a lot of them. And they're really helpful to kind of keep, some of the things that maybe I'm not thinking about brought up and brought forward for people. So feel free to ask them. I'm doing a lot of different things that are coming up, and one of them is here in California where I'm at right now. And that's going to be beautiful. It's on Thursday. So I'll put that link below. My programs are really helpful if you guys need to talk to your own higher self, your own soul, and if you want your own guidance. And also, the journey to you is like basically stripping away all of the limiting beliefs and helping you with all your soul shadows and your genetic line stuff, like all of it. And you guys are doing a lot of your own work with my guidance in that. And also, you're getting an exercise with me every month, and a live show every third month. So, there's that. Activating your gifts is coming up with Z. And that's really exciting because we're about ready to start doing projects. And everything is getting very exciting right now. So, any resistance you have to change, to going into the new, check on your subconscious, see how it's going. And any worries that you have about what's going to happen, just know it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So if we go forward with faith and the knowing, then we're going to be really well taken care of. So I totally believe that. And I hope you guys have an absolutely fabulous week. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.